You
I
guys
just
are so
handed you your
desperate.
asses.
You guys
so
are so desperate
shit.
for proof of curvature. It's funny. It's so
You can't have a,
anti-science.
you can't have a
So
conversation.
embarrassing. It's so anti-science, and these guys are going to look back in a few years and be embarrassed by what they stand for.
Hey, Red
Alternate
Pill, here's the
explanation.
problem that I have with you, Red Pill, is that you apparently are a relatively smart guy, and
Thank you, Bob. I agree.
and you think that by being a Poe, you're just getting clicks here.
What kind of conspiracy theory do you have now, Bob?
I don't have any conspiracy theory.
That I'm a Poe? So what? Am I scheming to deceive people? What a conspiracy
No, I
theory!
think
You're a
what you're doing
paranoid
is trying
crackpot,
to.
dude. Hey,
No,
you're
I just
paranoid,
think you're
Bob.
trying to get. Look at these top floors. You see how the distance between the floors is about the same until you get down to.
Bob, are you retarded? That's why I presented this, man. Get to your point, man.
I am getting to my point. Why don't you shut the fuck up?
I mean, I've
and
literally got
listen to it?
videos from like 6 months ago talking about the compression, dude. You're not enlightening me here, man.
Okay.
Yeah, wow, what an incredible display of globe-tard dishonesty, mental illness, or just general retardation. Incredible.
So a globe-tard walks into a debate and says this.
I'm gonna school you big time right now. Watch and learn. Do you see the two peaks that are marked 1 and 2? Care to look at the mountain now? Watch. You see the mountain lines up perfectly? I'm gonna keep rubbing this right down your throat until you admit it. So Chris, you're basically shut up now. Okay? That is the predicted.
I have a question. You let me know when you're done.
That's the demarcation between visible and hidden by curve based on the advanced curve calculator. And as you can see, it matches the horizon perfectly.
Ooh, wow. Everybody's supposed to get all scared now because the globe-tard had his cheap little mic drop moment. But watch what happens next when a couple of flat earthers, who are allegedly, according to mainstream society, the dumbest people ever, begin to apply high IQ skepticism and slowly tear apart the globe-tard's little mic drop evidence. And watch, I want this to be a lesson for everybody who's actually a high IQ skeptic. People who actually think critically and support science. I want this video to be a lesson on how most globe proofs are nothing more than little tricks, little waves of the wand. And now on the surface, it sounds persuasive because a person speaking uses an authoritative school teacher kind of tone of voice to intimidate you into thinking he's saying something smart, when 9.9 times out of 10, the evidence is garbage, and all you got to do is look a little bit beneath the surface, apply a little bit of critical thinking and a scientific mind, and you'll watch that globe proof, that mic drop, crumble to pieces. And that's what you're about to see. So keep that in mind. Thank you.
So a reasonable
now,
height
Chris,
runs
And 54
Chris?
meters is a
Hey,
very
Bob.
reasonable height.
Chris, do I have your attention, Chris?
Well, you haven't answered any of my questions. but-
This is why flat Earth is a
Is
movement.
Bob, is there
It
compression?
is not
in that?
science. Is it
Hey, red
6,000?
pill, bitch made.
Hey, what's up, Tommy boy?
Yeah, you see, the thing is, this is why flat Earth is a movement rather than
Bob,
critical
answer his
thinking
Hey,
question.
Bob, is there compression
or
in that
anything
image?
else. No,
Maybe
I'm
you
sure
can
there
zoom
is a
in so
small amount.
Can you zoom in so we can take a closer look?
Uh,
Because I don't know if you knew this, Bob, but the reality of compression throws a big monkey wrench into all blink tests.
all right, so you want to sit down
Correct.
and say that over 6,000 feet of that mountain is compressed, but the top 4,000 feet is not compressed. That's
I want to
that's your
say
argument.
that Mick West said compression is real, and when things compress, you can't necessarily just blink test comparison.
Okay, but how much compression? That's
There is no
no,
compression
there's-
in the
well, that's
presentation
why I
that Bob is
asked Bob.
offering.
And how do
Wait
you
a
explain
minute.
the fact that
I'm gonna
this
ask the
matches
question.
the curve
Hang on,
calculator?
I was gonna ask it. Well, that's why I wanted Bob to zoom in so we can see if there's compression. I mean, you have to look for reality. You have to consider the variables, guys. You can't
So-
just, you know.
So
No.
red pill, just really quickly. There's a bigger
Hi,
issue.
Red.
You're arguing about compression, which we normally find as a small band, especially in your photos lower down that are very close to the waterline. But in this, in what Bob's showing, there's a bigger problem here. The volume that would represent this mountain in an optics view has transformed downwards. So we can say, well, compression could be occurring. It might be turning 100 meters into 1, but that doesn't explain the sheer magnitude of the fact that that mountain wouldn't even be in the photograph there. It would be well above and beyond it if the Earth was flat.
All
Now, you see, here's the bottom line.
I'm gonna get my footage real quick. You guys can talk. It's gonna take a second. Get my footage.
Here's
over.
the bottom line. This is absolute proof of curvature, and any attempt to try and allude that this is compression or atmospheric lensing or perspective or any nonsense is disingenuous.
Sorry,
and it's just sitting
Bob.
down following a narrative. I'm not
You're just
desperate for anything.
Bob. You're just desperate.
We need a mirror up in the clouds to do that one.
You
I
guys
just
are so
handed you your
desperate.
asses.
You guys
so-
are so desperate for proof of curvature. It's funny.
You're desperate to prove the flat Earth, but
Yeah,
you can't.
No, you're
That's a
stuttering,
good
Tommy.
point. That's a good point. RPP. This isn't proof of curvature. It's proof of a phenomenon where the mountain possibly appears lower.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
No, listen,
There's that Dunning
embarrassing.
Kruger laugh.
It's so
we can't have a
so
conversation.
embarrassing. It's so anti-science, and these guys are going to look back in a few years and be embarrassed by what they stand for.
Oh,
It's so
I don't-
Jesus. You need to.
Why don't you?
Okay, all right. A red pill. I think you need to open up some more tabs. Your IQ is kind of.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm just looking at yeah, I know.
Well, they don't want
Awesome.
to.
Hey, Red
Alternate
Pill, here's the
explanation.
problem that I have with you, Red Pill, is that you apparently are a relatively smart guy, and
Thank you, Bob. I agree.
you think that by being a Poe, you're just getting clicks here.
What kind of conspiracy theory do you have now, Bob?
I don't have any conspiracy theory.
That I'm a Poe? So what? Am I scheming to deceive people? What a conspiracy
No, I think
theory!
I
You're
think
a
what you're doing
paranoid
is trying
crackpot,
to.
dude. Hey,
No,
you're
I just
paranoid,
think you're
Bob.
trying to get. I think you're just trying to
You're
get
a
clicks.
paranoid guy.
Yeah.
That stuff is flat.
I travel a lot and I fly a lot and I can see the curvature when I fly.
Okay, so 35,000 feet, you can see it, right? That's what you're saying?
Generally speaking, I can see a slight curve to it, yeah.
Okay, so Neil deGrasse Tyson says that you can't see it at that altitude, so I really...
This really doesn't. We have satellites.
That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat.
Hey, Red, can you tell me where the 6,000 feet of that
Let me go
missing
ahead
mountain
and
is?
share my screen here for you.
That was
guys.
5 people talking at the same time.
Hey, Red, can you tell me where the 6,000 missing feet of that mountain is?
That's you're literally retarded, Bob.
No.
Okay, there's
Okay.
the answer.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the
there's
abuse
really
of
not
ad
much to
hominem.
say. It's
That's the
complete
best answer he
idiocy.
has.
There's not much to say. There's
So
not
the
much to
the
say.
abusive
to a bunch
ad
of-
hominem
There's really
defense
not
is
much
the
to
only thing
say
you
to a
can
bunch
do.
of cult members.
Yeah,
There's
there's a
not
little
much
bit
to
of
say.
trolling going
Red
on. Hey guys, hold on really quick. There's a little bit of trolling going on. I'm enjoying it. It's cool. I mean, try not to go hard on personal attacks and all this shit. It's fun
Hey,
for now, and we are able to get the word across. Try not to overtalk each other too much, please.
All right,
Carry on.
well,
I'm chilling.
And
I
this
don't
Chris,
mind
Red
it.
Pill, keep it
I
civil.
don't
This is done.
Take it. I don't mind it.
This is done, so I really don't need to present anymore here. I think everybody's seen it, and
Thank you, Bob.
basically that's that.
Yes, the cult members will agree with you.
Yeah.
So this is due to what's called refractive sinking. Let me read you.
Yeah, they
Let
think
me-
science is funny
What
for
is
some
this?
reason. It's
Yeah,
really
let me read
weird.
you the
Oh, I
definition.
want it.
Let me read the definition. In thinking, stationary objects that are normally seen above the horizon appear to be lowered, or may even disappear below the horizon. There you go.
Yeah, but that normally happens. That tends to compress things as well, and we're seeing things that are not
There is
compressed.
Well, go right
Compression.
ahead. Go right
There is
ahead and show me how
compression.
that's taking 6,000 feet of a 10,832 foot mountain.
There is compression. There was an analysis video done, which I can't find because YouTube
You're
hides
right.
all the good flat Earth videos. Where
Chris,
Yeah.
it never compresses
Now
by
we're
that.
talking about
It never
conspiracy.
sinks by that amount. We do.
Okay.
What you're suggesting is that mountain that Bob was showing us was perfectly not perfectly correct in aspect ratio, and suddenly when it hits the horizon, presumably you're suggesting the missing X thousand feet are suddenly compressed into one pixel. There's no optical or physical way of accounting for that. It's obscured by the curvature of the Earth, and it
Hey,
matches.
can you guys see my screen?
And that compression
You
precisely matches the curve calculator based on the Earth curve of the Earth.
Yeah, that's circular
Then-
reasoning, Bob. That's
yeah, all it
circular
means is they hijack refraction from
Yeah,
the
that's
yeah,
exactly.
oh my
That's all
God.
it means.
Is
It's
that the
just
video, Red Pill? I'm presenting
Hijacking
you.
refraction.
Yeah, yeah, I have it on screen now. I mean, look, my point is, I mean, you can see that there's a vertical compression taking place.
Okay, have you measured out the
The
pixels
balcony
between
buildings
those?
near the top are a certain width, but as you get closer down to the horizon, and you know, artists and designers, you know, they know the horizon as a vanishing line. That's what they call it.
No, they
But
don't.
as the balcony
No,
building,
that's wrong.
Absolutely
Red, would
wrong.
you be kind enough to put that video or that screenshot back up again?
We-
I want
Pretty
to
sure
point
Dean would
something
have
out
something
and
to say
school
about
you
that
a little
comment.
bit.
No, yeah, I want to see the video playing.
what does Dean deny that artists have a term called vanishing lines?
No, he
No,
didn't deny that. He said the
no.
horizon.
So
No, wait a
He
minute,
said
wait a
the
minute.
Who's
horizon
the
didn't
fucking
let me
necessarily
answer.
match.
Who's the
let-
fucking idiot who just said Dean would deny that?
No, let me
Who's
just
the
let me
smarty
just say
pants who
something.
just
Wait a
said
minute.
that?
Stop.
Oh, Red
So
Pill. Get triggered, my boy.
That one
So-
right there.
What a dumbass cult.
So what I'm
Oh, he's
saying,
salty.
you just made the assertion that the horizon is the point of which artists call the vanishing line, and that's complete and utter bullshit.
No, I didn't say that, Dean. You're
Well,
just
okay,
not
we'll have a
listening.
look. Wait a
What
minute.
I'm
What
saying
now?
is that
Okay,
it's,
then
it's,
what are
it's
you
May I
similar.
get back
What I'm
into this
saying is
photograph
that
right here? There's a key thing right on this photograph. If you'll bring it back up, please.
who's Bob talking to?
I'm talking to whoever's putting that condo up.
Yeah, that's me, dude. It's right here.
I would really appreciate it if you put it back. Yeah, perfect. All right. Where'd it go?
Click on his icon if you want to see it.
All right, right here. You see that? Now, if you do a pixel count, you see on the right side here, you have a series of balconies, correct? If
Yeah,
you
it's
do
my
a,
footage. I know, bro.
great. Did you do a pixel count on the black spaces between those floors?
Pencil count? No, I did. I used my eyeballs to see that the balconies near the quote horizon are thinner than the ones up top. Yeah.
Because your eyeballs are far more accurate than actually counting pixels. Okay, I understand.
Okay, so what's the point here, Bobby?
The point is, look at these top floors. You see how the distance between the floors is about the same until you get down to.
Bob, are you retarded? That's why I presented this, man. Get to your point, man.
I am getting to my point. Why don't you shut the fuck up?
I mean, I've
and
literally got
listen to it?
videos from like 6 months ago talking about the compression, dude. You're not enlightening me here, man.
Okay. Now you're looking at the balcony about a quarter of the way up, and then you see the compression just at the bottom.
Yeah, you can fit like 4 balconies in the span of
No,
one
you
up
can't.
top.
We've
It's
done
really
this.
Oh,
Red
can
Pill.
you?
really
Yeah, can you
cannot
confirm
fit-
that?
You Red Pill. You cannot fit the missing
All right.
floors into
Wait,
the
wait, wait,
space.
I never
at the
said-
Am I
I
horizon.
going
never
to
said
be
missing
allowed
floors.
to finish here?
I never said missing floors. I said the ones that are visible right above the quote
But there are
horizon
missing
are
floors, aren't there,
squat.
Red Pill?
I never said
All
anything
right.
about
Red
missing
Pill.
or not, Rumpus.
Are there not
May I
missing floors that we
finish?
cannot see?
Okay,
Or
okay.
is
And
everybody
Rumpus,
just gonna
Rumpus,
talk
you
over?
saw my footage of the exact same building
right,
where
I'm
you
done.
can see the entire building. So what's your point, Rumpus?
The point is there are missing floors that are below
Rumpus
horizon.
always has to butt in and Rumpus when
Now,
I'm
hold
showing
on,
this
hold-
footage.
Let's get this right.
There's
There are
something
missing
about this footage
there
that
are
scares the
missing
shit out of
floors
Globers. I don't know what it is though.
you cannot account for that are below the horizon.
Rumpus,
You
when did
cannot
I
account
say
for them
anything about
by
that?
compression, can you?
Rumpus, when did I say anything about the missing floors?
I'm talking about the missing floors. There are missing
But
floors.
I'm not
aren't there?
talking about it. So what's
Well, I
your point?
am. There are
Well, who
missing
cares?
floors, and
Who
you
cares,
cannot
Rumpus?
account for
There's
them
what-
by compression.
Here's footage from a different date, and you
No,
can
hold on,
see
hold on. We're dealing with
everything.
that picture.
can see
You
everything,
cannot
Rumpus.
account. You
Look, you can
cannot
see everything
account
now.
for the
All
missing
right, you're just
Wow,
talking over
missing.
each
by
other.
And then the
so-
next
compression,
day,
can
it's
you?
not missing. Oh, it's so
No,
amazing.
on the picture you just had,
Okay.
you had missing floors that you cannot account for by the compression, which we can see. We can see this compression,
But wait
but
a
it's
minute,
not
Rumpus.
sufficient to account for
Rumpus,
the
when did
missing
I ever say
floors.
that? When did I ever say?
Well, I'm saying it.
Well,
I'm
I don't
saying
care because I
you
didn't say it. So
cannot
what's your
account
point?
Red Pill
for
is
the
your
missing
assertion.
floors
You guys are just
through
you guys are just such
compression.
cult members, man.
You
Red
cannot
Pill,
account
are you
for the
Such
asserting?
missing
religious
floors
cult
through
members, dude.
compression, can you? I know you
Oh,
want to
so
overtalk me and dodge
stupid.
you're just trying to deflect here, Red Pill. But
Oh
just
no, you just
no, you're trying to
you're
deflect.
just not even
You're
making
trying
a
to
point,
dodge.
Rumpus.
You're trying to dodge
Just
the
really
issue
quickly,
that
Rumpus.
there are
Rumpus is
missing
so
floors that you
stupid.
cannot account for by compression.
Rumpus, you're so dumb,
Why are you
dude.
deflecting, Red Pill? Don't
Rumpus,
you like
you've said
this
it
fact?
12 times already.
Red Pill,
Now,
don't you like this fact? Answer the point.
please.
Answer the point, Red Pill.
What
Stop
you need to
dodging.
answer, Rumpus, is what you wouldn't answer the last time I spoke
I'm
to you.
perfectly happy to answer any question you ask me. You answer mine. There are missing floors that you cannot account for by the
Five,
compression
Rumpus,
that we
there are
cannot.
five.
Okay, so there are 5 floors
Rumpus.
that are missing that you cannot account for. And
Rumpus.
even with the compression that we can see,
Rumpus.
you cannot
Rumpus,
account
Rumpus,
for
Okay,
it.
let me
shut
start.
up.
Let me
God,
start
not
by
He
Scotty.
won't answer the goddamn question.
Wait. I'm gonna go ahead and give you an answer to your malformed question.
So
Here I
stop
go.
dodging it and answer the question.
No one ever dodged anything. Okay, so you see how obviously anybody with eyeballs, you don't need to count
Yeah, we've got
pixels
the
like
compression.
Bob
We
the
know that
Fallacy
bit.
guy.
We've done that. We accept that.
Are you gonna let me answer, Rumpus?
But you
This
can
is what
just
you did last
I
time.
included
You did
this
the
in my
same
question.
shit last
I
time. You wouldn't let
included
me
that
answer the
point in my
question.
question. You're just repeating
You
my question.
asked the question so you can impress the idiot atheists in the
And I
audience to
mentioned
sound
there was
like you got me, but then you don't let me answer the
I
question.
mentioned there was compression, so you're just repeating what I said.
I'm gonna answer your question. So as you can see, the balconies near the quote horizon line are compressed, and you can fit. I mean, by the time it's the bottom 3 floors, it looks like you can fit about 3 or 4 of these balconies will fit in the span of the balcony up
Are you
top.
claiming you can fit the 5 missing floors in the space between the last
But
visible floor that we can see in the
if you
horizon?
let me see, the thing is, Rump, is that science
Oh.
can be complex, and we have to give thorough answers, and you
Yeah,
want stupid
stop
stuff. So
deflecting.
you gotta let me consider the variables at play here. So let me just answer the question. So as you can see, just in when you get to the bottom, I mean, we're talking about 4 floors. We're talking about, look, I mean, there's 2 balconies squished so tight
Right.
that you have to wonder, because it really does look like an
So you're
exponential.
claiming the missing floors are in between the last visible floor and the horizon.
No,
you're claiming
Rumpus, he's
As I was
not.
saying, as I was saying,
pixel. Is that what you're claiming?
as I was saying before, I was very rudely interrupted.
Are you claiming there are 5 floors in
It's a
one
vertical.
pixel?
It's like an exponential compression. If you take a look at it, it's like an
Still not
exponential
sufficient,
compression.
Red Pill.
So you have a certain width near the top, and then it gets a little thinner and a little thinner and a little, and then it starts getting even thinner, even faster.
All right, can I have a second?
He doesn't let me finish. He just doesn't. let me finish.
Red Pill,
May
all
I
you're
have-
doing is
may I have a
dramatizing an
No,
explanation.
Dean, you are
We
the
accept
damage
this
control
compression,
person
Red
for the
Pill. We
globe.
accept that. We've said so from the start.
Rumpus
But it's
never
not
lets
you
someone
saying
finish
that
the
the
You're
sentence.
missing
claiming
six
there
You
are
want to
5
simplify
floors
science.
compressed into
You
one
want Rumpus. You
pixel.
want to simplify
Rumpus,
science.
please.
You want to simplify science so that people don't get thorough answers for things. That's just disingenuous, Rumpus.
Okay, now, Red, are you saying that the missing 6,000 feet of San Jacinto is compressed? Like
Oh,
the
hang on a
bottom
second.
floor
You
of
are
that
wait. You're
condo?
jumping to the other one now. Okay, that's fine, Bob. Let's go to yours real quick. So, Bob, I mean, I asked
Are
you to
you
zoom in on the
saying,
picture.
please, Red, let me finish. Are you saying that the missing 6,000 feet of San Jacinto is compressed as the bottom 2 or 3 floors of that condo are compressed?
Well, you
I
didn't
have an
even
answer to
confirm.
the
You didn't
San
even. First of all, you didn't even
Jacinto.
confirm if there was compression. So that's why I asked you to pull your picture up and let's zoom in and take a look at it.
Wait, so now you're questioning compression?
You were retarded. Bob, if you can pull the picture up, Bob, that'd be great so we could look at it.
I can pull up an analysis that JT Tolan Media did where that shows compression 100%.
Yeah, and that's all I want to know. I want to know if there's compression. We have to
Here.
think about science.
Total Media can't even identify
Guys, we have to think
landmarks.
about science. There's a lot of
RPP,
variables
look at
in
my
science.
screen. Look at my screen, RPP.
Yeah,
Or my
correct.
icon.
All right.
Yeah, that's
so
that J. Tolan Media crap.
I got it. Thank you very much, Chris Berry. Really appreciate it.
There you go.
So this is the compression analysis that he did that shows.
Oh wow, that's really awesome, man.
That
Cool.
shows if so from this distance from here to here, from A to B, it's 300 feet, and then from the same distance, C to D is 600, and then the lower you get, it you know, what am I trying to say?
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
this reminds me of the refraction Mick West said. is real.
misidentified
Now here's
the
the problem.
compression. I remember Mick West
He
said compression is real,
misidentified the features in that photograph.
I love it. Yeah,
He's
compression.
an
All right.
absolute
Wild,
idiot.
man.
Okay, Chris, this is your photograph, correct? This is
No, it's not
the one-
mine.
Is this the one you are presenting?
Which one?
The photograph on screen.
It's not mine.
Are you presenting this photograph? It's a simple
I am
question.
presenting it, Bob. Yes.
All right. Do you see the yellow elevation scale there?
Yes.
All right. Is that yellow elevation scale correct?
What do you mean? Is it correct in terms of what?
Does it give actual elevations? So for example, if I read off one of those elevations on the mountain, is that the actual elevation of that point on the mountain?
Based on the yellow scale?
Yes.
No, because it's
Correct.
because the mountain's compressed.
The mountain's compressed.
It's called
Yes.
science. Mick West talked about compression.
Okay. All right. So you're going to say the bottom.
You guys can't deny science.
Well, look, he
What-
compared.
What
I mean,
is
Rumpus
the,
keeps
what
saying
is
he's
the
got the
lowest
mountain drawn.
point
He's
on that
denying it right
mountain
here.
you can see? What is the
It's-
lowest point on that mountain you can see?
Well, so right here he's got
Yes.
F, and F is way over here in his comparison shot, way down here.
Boom.
Is it? So you're
Yeah.
saying F is that right there, that one little knob on the left side.
Well, that's what he's saying, but yes.
Are you saying that?
A, B, C, D, E, F.
Yeah, I
And then
know.
we
You
go back.
can't- we already know that
A,
you can't
B, C,
identify.
D, E, F.
Okay. Are you saying that that F, that knob on the left side of the mountain, is visible?
Well, this, whatever this F is visible, yes.
No. Are you saying that that F is that knob on the mountain?
Yes.
Okay, so you are. All right. I want you to show me that knob on this screenshot right
Here.
here. This
Well,
screenshot right
Bob,
here.
is there compression or not in yours?
Probably a tiny amount.
Did you even consider it? I mean, why would you deny basic variables?
I
of
don't need
science?
to, because what I did was I did a direct comparison of the photographs. Now there it is. Show
Wait,
me-
He overlaid them, Red Pill.
Wait,
They
you
were
overlaid
So how did you
looking
have
at all.
I have a question.
This is for Chris.
I have a
want
question
you
for
to show-
Bob.
No, Chris. Where is
How
that
did you do your
knob?
overlay mountain? Did you zoom in using Google Earth?
Yeah, he used Google Earth with probably no atmospheric variables, including compression. These people are so fucking stupid.
They match up. It doesn't matter.
No, they're lying cunts. That's what it is.
Yeah, you don't like it, do you? The
Was it
evidence, Red
zoomed?
Pill?
Bob, was
It matches, Red Pill. It matches.
Please, Chris. I want you to show me that knob that was on the left in the J. Tolan, identified as E. Show me that in this photograph.
E or F?
F.
Red Pill. Compress this one. Compress this
Tommy,
one, please.
Tommy, stop interrupting, you idiot.
Tommy, stop changing the subject. You're
Yeah,
really
let's
Yeah, he's
stick
so
to
desperate.
Tommy.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to have
desperate.
a conversation with Chris here.
Let
yeah,
Bob
let's
go,
stick to
damn
the
it.
subject.
Now, Chris, would you please show me where that knob is on this photograph?
Which photograph?
The one that's on my screen right now.
The one that's
We
on
can't
You're not
see anything,
sharing a-
Bob.
You're not
sharing,
sharing
Bob.
You're
anything,
not
Bob.
sharing, Bob.
I was a minute ago.
This old
Well, you're
man
not
doesn't know how to use
now.
a Computer, dude. What the fuck?
Let's try it again.
I thought you were referring to what Chris was sharing. It turns out
Yeah,
you
me
thought-
too.
Oh,
No. Right here. There's the photograph directly superimposed on J. Tolan Media One's
How did you
photograph.
get
Would
it
you
to
please
one
show me? Would you please show me that knob on the left, Chris?
What did you do to get that photo?
Would you please show me the knob that you were referring to as F on this photograph?
Bob, it'd be very helpful if you just shared the window. You're showing your desktop. Bob, you're showing your desktop. If you just share the window, then we can see that a
2,000
bit
years
clearer.
and no proof of a sphere. Oh my god.
No, it was fine.
Now
though.
who's denying science, dumbass?
Bob,
Shut up,
what
science
did you do
denier.
to get the comparison 3D
You guys drinking alcohol at
photo?
10
How
a.m.
did you get that?
All right. I don't really have
It's
much more time for you here.
It's called the East Coast, you
There
shit
you
lord.
are. There you are.
Still
Now,
too early for alcohol.
Chris,
How did you get your blue test photo, Bob?
look, I'm not even going to bother continuing if people keep
Is
interrupting.
it a zoomed in shot?
Yeah, this is the zoomed in shot that
Why
matches
is it zoomed in?
because that's what you have on J. Tolan's shot right
It
there.
is?
Yeah,
It's
right
zoomed
there.
in?
Yeah, right
How
there.
much is yours zoomed in?
Exactly the same as Tolan's. You see, here's Tolan's shot.
Exactly the same. It doesn't look the same at all.
It looks exactly the same. Right
No,
there.
it doesn't.
Can
Oh.
we just establish one thing? That he's overlaying an image from Google Earth with no atmospheric considerations. So
And
dishonest.
what's the distance?
So
Bob? What's the
dishonest.
distance between
There's
the Google Earth
right there.
observer?
Red Pill, if you understood about refraction, you'd realize that
Only
was
low
valid.
IQ atheists fall for this
You
shit.
don't understand, Red Pill, because
All right.
the shape is not
Let me ask
changed.
Bob a
So
question
you
real
can
quick.
overlay the images
Rubbish.
even at different
Wrong,
heights
Rumpus.
because
dude.
refraction does not check. When you've got standard
All right, I'll go
refraction,
ahead and I'll
it does
stop-
not
I'll stop
change the
sharing and let
aspect
Rumpus
ratio
talk.
of the image. So it's a perfectly
Rumpus.
valid
I'll go
thing
ahead.
to do.
I'll stop.
All The standard refraction does, Red Pill, is change the position of something. It doesn't change the aspect ratio. So it's perfectly valid to overlay it. You don't understand, you're a moron.
All right, gentlemen, I've got my daughter's going to graduate, so I'm going to get going.
One more quick question, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. You got
what you got to do, man.
You got the shit out of your rumpus today, bro.
Just a quick question. How far was the observer to the mountain in the Google Earth 3D image? Okay, he doesn't answer the question.
What,
so
he was dealing with his daughter. Don't be a twat.
So dishonest, man.
He's dishonest. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he went off his daughter.
There's only
That
two
makes him
options.
dishonest.
You're either
Oh,
retarded or you're dishonest. There's only two options, man. I mean, at this point.
God, yeah, he's dishonest. Yeah, he didn't have to go into his daughter. Yeah, just messed up.
Oh, incredible. Just incredible.
Red Pill, can I ask you a question?
You morons.
Just incredible.
Red Pill, can I ask
You're
you
a
a question?
moron, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, the compression is real, and I don't know why you guys.
Yes,
just
no
pretend
one's
it doesn't
disputing
exist.
the compression, but you don't understand the compression that you witnessed in your images
Yeah,
was
you
due to the
straw
fact.
man.
Hold on.
Straw
The
man.
compression that you witnessed was due to the fact you were very low to the
Straw
ground
man
elevation.
obfuscation.
Hold on. You don't like this fact.
That's
You
not
I'd rather
why.
talk to Tommy,
you
'cause you're
only
just gonna
get
rump
that
it.
sort of
Tommy had a
compression.
question. I'd rather
You
talk to Tommy.
only
You're
get
just gonna
that
rump
sort
it.
of compression.
You're just gonna
when you're-
rump it,
You
so
only
I'd
get
rather
that
answer
sort
Tom.
of compression
Tommy,
when
look, Tommy
you
had something to
only
say.
get that sort of compression.
No, you
You
don't.
only
No, you
get
don't.
that
No, you
sort
don't.
of
No, you
compression
don't. No, you
when you
don't.
have a low elevation height.
Well,
No,
In
that's
his
wrong.
example,
representing himself. That's
in his
amazing.
examples, he was not.
I just muted this one for a second because he's getting like really bad. The rumpus is rumpusing the shit out of the hangout. I'm gonna let it run. They're not hitting me what I say, but you guys are hitting me on YouTube, so I'm gonna unmute it, and you guys know. I know. Yeah, it's all right. All right, guys, carry on.
Compressed at all?
Sorry?
Is the San Jacinto Mountain, does it have any compression at all?
Well, because the observer, as I understand it, was at 54 meters, you don't tend to get very much compression when you go
Yeah,
to
that's
that
not the
height.
question. Does
But
the
you still
mountain
get
have
looming.
compression?
You still get looming, but that means that the aspect ratio is preserved. You just get you get it translated upwards. You don't get compression when you have a higher
Trumpus.
observer height. It's quite
Trumpus,
simple.
I had a question I didn't get to ask you. That there's so many variables, right? There's compression, there's super looming and stuff. For hundreds of years, the textbooks said that Aristotle's ancient observations were conclusive slam dunk proof we live on a sphere. Did he know about compression, super looming?
He was aware of something.
Calculated a sphere. He didn't prove it. He calculated it. He knew it was a sphere.
No,
He just
we're talking
wanted
about
to see the radius.
we're talking about the Aristotle ships disappearing bottom up.
Yes, but he may not have accounted for refraction, but what he could do.
So how did he know?
Hold on, I'm trying to answer your question. Okay, you've asked the question. I'm trying to answer it. He may not have been able to account for all the refraction effect, but what you can do is still come to the qualitative judgment that the ships are descending below. So you do not need to understand refraction, because the refraction effect for standard refraction is about 20% of the object. It gets loomed up.
So in other words, it was inconclusive garbage.
Hold on. So it gets loomed up by 20%. So in other words, it still doesn't change the fact that things disappear from the bottom up, and that
Why can't you guys measure curvature directly?
by the curvature of the Earth.
Why do you guys always? Why do you
Wait a
guys?
minute.
We have.
Why are all your proofs? Why are
Wait a
all
minute.
your
Red
proofs?
Pill.
Why are your proofs are like far
They're
away
there.
from the
We
proofs?
understand exactly what's
It's weird.
going
No,
on.
wait a minute. Red Pill, when you say why haven't we measured curvature, the thing is it was measured a long time ago, and when you get to a point
No,
where
I
you
said directly.
wait a minute, listen.
I said
listen,
measured directly.
Listen.
Keyword.
when
Keyword
you
directly.
Okay.
Don't
So
strawman it.
we can so directly, but when
Because-
you
because
can
here, let me
to
just
figure out
let me just qualify.
when you can figure out the shape of something by flying away from it and looking back.
This is what you always do. You appeal to low quality evidence. Nothing things we can't verify or repeat for ourselves.
Unicorns were proved a long time ago, mate.
They're repeated and verified, Red Pill.
No.
We've got
Who
lots-
measured it?
Ourselves.
Who
We
measured
can't-
it?
Red
we
Pill.
can't get in a rocket
can I-
ship.
can-
We
I had a
can't get
question
in
for
a
you.
rocket ship.
Yeah,
we
you
would have to go at least 128,000 feet, according to Neil deGrasse Tyson, to even see any curvature.
That's incorrect.
Oh,
You can
wait, so
actually
you're relying on
But
Neil
that's what
deGrasse
Neil
Tyson's
deGrasse
authority?
Tyson says. He supersedes all your guys' credentials. put
NGT also
together.
says the Earth isn't flat, so
But
there
he
you go.
contradicts
Argument
what
done.
you guys are
Have a nice
saying
day.
about where
Shut
you
the
can see
fuck up. You're
curvature.
done.
He contradicts what you guys are saying about where you can see
There's zero curve at 120,000 feet.
So how
Why would
high
that-
do you have
Because
to be?
everybody's
why
talking
don't
over each other. I want to talk too. Thank you
I never
everybody
read
for
it,
checking
so.
in. I got like 10 minutes before I do my roundups. Everybody's going to have a chance to speak your final thoughts. So we got 10 minutes to go all in. Scotty Storm, welcome. I want to finish you with a boom. So all welcome to talk, different subjects, random. And now for Español, please press number 2. Gracias todo el mundo por presentarse por venir al show de YouTube. Todo el mundo está bienvenido. So, estoy feliz, emocionado y excitante para estar aquí con ustedes. Así que
Red Pill, you can see curvature on the Earth by taking a photograph. What he meant was that you visually, with the human eye, but with a camera. I mean, Rory's demonstrated this.
No. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about.
If you were to take a photograph of the horizon from about 700 feet up and you took a high quality picture, you personally would be able to see the curvature left and right. You could
This is the difference, Red Pill.
Oh, let me guess. You have to Photoshop it, right?
No, you take a picture.
You have to compress it. You have to compress the image from left to right. You have to
because we live in a
Photoshop
freaking
it.
big
You have to Photoshop it. Oh my God, it is Photoshop.
Hey, NGT.
Because it has to be. It is Photoshop because it has to be. Oh my God, you guys are
Red Pill. Wait a minute, Red Pill. Just really quickly, Red Pill. You don't have to use Photoshop. You could actually print it out and do it with a piece of glass as well. Photoshop has got fuck all to do with it. All you're actually doing is you're compressing it. Correct, but you're compressing it because of something that we have in reality, whereby if there is a small detail, you can accentuate it by putting it in a smaller space. This is called logic in reality.
Where you guys put it into Photoshop. You guys put it into Photoshop and
no, Red Pill.
Oh, Jesus, you're a kid.
Photoshop because it has to be. I understand, guys. It's tough.
Red
Do you not
This is my
understand?
turn.
Hold on, Red Pill. Do you not understand? All we're trying to do is to put a horizontal line on the image. If you want to avoid Photoshop, you could. As Dean said, you could print it out and just use a ruler and get exactly the same result.
Yeah, let Tommy show this because he's done it, and I refuse. I actually refuse to think that Red Pill philosophy is this dumb. I really do. I think this is trolling.
Yeah,
I think now it's my turn. So shut up, Red Pill, and I'll show you.
Great, Tommy. Well done.
So let me look. Neil deGrasse Tyson said you can't see the curve from 128,000.
Stop straw manning, Red Pill, and look at what Tommy's showing.
That's what it said. That's what he said.
Red Pill.
Let Tommy show us the evidence. You had a presentation, Red Pill. Let Tommy have one.
Shut up and let my bitch maybe one more time.
Hurry up, Tommy. Come on, get to the point. Let's see what your dumb shit is.
What did you say about in that picture? So with the story high building, you said compression, and you said something about vanishing point. What was that vanishing point?
You want me to refute the picture on screen? Is that what you want?
No, just tell me what your vanishing point is.
So, number one, I would want to make sure, and I don't know if I can see it in this picture. There better not be a what's that called? An inferior mirage, because that can artificially lower.
No. Just define your vanishing point.
To clarify, is there an inferior mirage on that horizon? Just answer the question, dude.
It's not. I just wanted to verify. Tell me what your vanishing point is.
My second question about your picture is it just?
Answer this still ask a question.
Hey, come on! You're presenting evidence. Let me refute it. My second question is,
just ask you. What's your vanishing point?
Am I just confused, or does it seem like the horizon is different heights on the left side of the tripod and the right side? Could you maybe clarify what's going on there?
Yeah, sure. I'm hand holding a camera with a zoom lens, and the camera was not dead level. That's it.
No, it just looks completely uneven, but that's fine. That's okay.
You have a level line in the middle. I thought it was level.
Yeah,
And here's the other thing. I'd like to also point this out. That little lighthouse or tower stack, whatever that is, you can see that there's land protruding out from it. And if you look all the way to the right edge of the land, it is before the end of the water line, meaning it's not in that. Yes, exactly. So that island doesn't appear to be at the actual horizon line of water in the distance. So that will affect the inferior mirages that take place on the horizon line. So my question is, inferior mirages will make the apparent water line appear lower than it actually is. So I would like some confirmation that there is not an inferior mirage taking place out there.
It's not.
So that would be my first question, basically.
Yeah. And I asked you one question. What is your definition of vanishing point? Why can't you answer that?
I mean, if you want to deflect from your own image, that's fine.
No, I asked you. What's your definition of vanishing point?
I don't understand why you can't answer basic questions about your evidence.
He asked it first, you dumbass.
Do you know anything about the environmental conditions that day? Can you tell me temperature, water temperature?
Why can't you answer?
Do you not have any evidence from any
I just
data?
asked you, what's your definition of vanishing point? That's easy. That's nothing to do with this picture.
Oh, you just presented it for no reason? That's very strange.
No,
Okay.
I just want to know what's your definition of vanishing point.
Okay. Oh, yeah, sure. I'll give you the
Why are
definition.
you deflecting all the time? Why do you
I'll give you
answer
the
Tommy's question? If you can't answer, just say I don't know.
It's because RPP is a
I'm going to give him the answer right now.
This is why you ran away from a one-to-one debate.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the answer now. You want it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in design and in artistry, the vanishing point is where the sky appears to meet the floor in the apparent dissonance caused by perspective. They call it a vanishing line because I guess you can't really draw much more into that highly compressed zone.
Yeah.
But that's what it means in artistry. I mean,
And that means that nothing can cross that vanishing point, right?
Well, I mean, I hope you understand that parallel lines never meet, right? Like,
Yeah, sure. Explain
hope you
this then.
understand. It's a fairly basic concept. I hope you get it.
Yeah, then explain this one.
Very simple.
I'm
stuff.
70 feet above water. Those windmills, the top of them are 1,000 feet above water. Those are below my eye level. How did that happen?
Sorry, what are you showing? Oh, hang
Sorry
on.
to interrupt, Tommy. Where are you getting this horizontal, this line
I got
from?
it.
How are you? How are you generating?
Center of the lens from
Number one, we have an
Yeah, but how does he know the
inferior
lens is pointing horizontally?
I need one person to mute. I think it's Schrodinger's cat, maybe. It's like a breather. Somebody
I'm
is
gonna
like
show that again.
breathing down the microphone like
Right,
all so
Tommy,
long. It's kind of
your screen.
annoying. Thank you.
Oh,
Ah,
Tommy,
right. So Tommy, you've aligned this horizontally, have you?
I can show this again, please.
Ah, I see. Right.
Yeah.
I see. Uh-huh.
This is eye level. The camera's level. The water is
Right.
level. That's eye level, right?
Tommy,
Ah,
show me the
Just let me go through this, please.
Are you just going to show a bunch of images, scattergun
That
style?
is still eye level. Eye
Why
level
are
at the
you
bottom of my
afraid of
screen.
my scrutiny?
That is still eye level
What are you
at the top
afraid
of my
of,
screen.
Tommy?
It doesn't matter what I
Why don't
tilt
you
the
go
camera.
back and
That's
show
still
me your
eye level.
observation?
I just
Great
want to
stuff.
clarify eye
Great
level.
stuff.
You're
Tommy, great
arguing
stuff.
with a straw man. You're an idiot. Number one, there's an inferior mirage taking place.
Where?
Oh man, you must be blind, dude. Right to
Yeah,
the
it's
left.
right
behind
there
this little
there
part?
it is. Good job.
That little part?
dumbass.
Yes.
Is that little part enough? That's it. Sure.
Well,
Hey, look
a
up-
lot
look
of
at my
times when
screen.
there's an inferior mirage, it could span out pretty wide. It really depends on the day and the conditions. I think it's kind of funny, that you chose to take images of an observation with a giant piece of rock blocking half the horizon. That's actually in the foreground and not at the horizon. No, it's very interesting. Like
Tommy,
we want to see
I've got a
the
question.
horizon.
Yeah.
We want to see things
Wait a minute, Red Pill.
disappearing
We know
into
we-
the horizon.
You
Red
can't sum
Pill,
up. Sorry.
Red Pill, stop preaching
We
2 seconds,
want
Red
to
Pill.
see that, but you put a giant
Okay.
fucking rock in the foreground. I
Yeah,
just
you
said
said
that.
Amen.
Moved over a
Amen.
little bit, Tommy.
Amen.
Tommy,
Said
you
the
gotta
Lord,
move
amen. I
over
got
a
it.
little
Verbal
bit.
masturbation here, right?
Now,
Oh,
now,
I
now,
got
Tommy,
10 bits fed twice in 2 days. This is great.
Just-
Tommy,
Tommy, you're
do
gonna
me
need another
a favor,
location.
Tommy.
You
RPP is like
Oh,
triggered
wait,
as
wait,
fuck right now.
Yeah, wait
I hear
till
you.
it's good. All right, okay. Yeah, Tommy, I've got a question for you regarding this. So you got the
Really?
survey data from those beautifully non singularly scaled. In other words, they're uniformly scaled based on perspective. They're not compressed or anything. All those
Oh my
blades,
God, look at that.
the blades
You
at
put a
the
giant
angle.
rock in the
Right,
way.
you
What
ready?
an idiot.
The blades at angles are actually the same with the blades at other angles, which tell us that there's no geometric distortion. But Tommy,
Nothing.
my main question here is, could you just indicate on that image with your mouse or maybe some selection where those actual turbines should be if we were looking at a flat surface?
If there's compression.
On this
then-
image, it should be well above eye level.
If there's
Right, so
compression.
we're on about,
please
so wait a minute, I'm not done, Red Pill, I'm talking with Tommy. So you're saying that they would be above that line, how high above that line would they be?
That's
Look
hard
at
to
the
tell.
left.
I cannot tell that.
Look at the left. Oh my God, go back to that cartoon, dude. You have a giant rock in the foreground right there. Why did you pick that spot, you idiot?
Red Pill, shut up for a second.
What an idiot.
Hey, shut up for a second. This is water.
Put a giant rock in
hey,
front of what you're
Red,
trying to
Red,
look
wait a
at.
minute, wait a minute, Red Pill, just so that you
Red Pill,
know, the only
this is
person
water.
with a rock fetish
What a
and thinks
little
this is
rat
funny
weasel.
is you.
The best you
Yeah,
got
I
is a
know.
giant rock.
What's the
Obscuring.
difference does a rock make?
What an idiot.
It's an island.
What a complete fucking
Here.
idiot.
Red
This
Right,
is,
okay,
Red
okay.
Pill is very
No, no,
triggered right now.
No,
This is
no,
like
we're missing,
self-soothing.
we're missing
Red Pill, are you on the spectrum?
You're just trying to disrupt this, Red Pill. It's,
Yeah,
let me ask,
you're antisocial. You're being antisocial,
ask you a
Red Pill. You're
question.
just trying to disrupt the conversation here.
let me ask Tommy a question.
Yeah.
I have a real
me-
quick question for Rumpus, though. Really quick. Rumpus, you say, "Oh, your footage, Red Pill, was all hazy and wavy. We can't trust
No,
it." I mean,
Dean
Tommy-
said that.
Tommy
Dean
just
said
presented
that,
video.
not
I
me,
said
you
that.
idiot.
I
Dean
said that.
said that.
Video with
Dean
a
said
giant
that,
fucking
not
rock.
me, you idiot.
No,
But
can I,
then
yeah,
you
no,
said
wait a minute, Red Pill,
not
that was,
me.
yeah,
I have a
Red Pill,
question
You
that was me that
goddamn
said that.
moron.
for
Yeah,
Tommy.
Red Pill,
Tommy,
that was me that
Jesus
said that.
Christ.
Put a giant rock in the foreground, blocking half the
I
horizon.
think Red Pill's confused with people
Yeah,
and
you're
things at
confused
the
about
moment.
reality and what you can't even remember something happened
Let me
20
ask
years ago.
Tommy a question.
Jesus Christ. Do you remember to put your trousers
Let me
on,
ask
Red
Tommy a
Pill?
question.
This is awesome.
Red Pill,
Either
you
that
remember
or
to
he
put your
actually is
trousers on in the morning?
Guys, hold on, hold
I
on,
bet
hold
you're
on.
without your trousers, aren't you?
Let me ask
You forgot
Tommy
to
a
put them
question.
on.
Rumpus,
I hear
let
you.
me
Just
ask
off.
Tommy
Can
a
I hear
question.
you?
Incredible.
All right, click on my icons, and I'm sharing a YouTube. Tommy, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Where's the horizon in this image?
That's not easy to say because that's boiling of distortions.
Wait, why is it not easy? Why can't you just tell me? Because you're
Because
asking
this
us that in your
distortion
image.
follow. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
tell because
Wait a minute, Chris. You're doing the same thing. Tommy's observations, we could point and see no distortions. You're trying
That's
to find
not
flat Earth
true.
by pointing at a
What
glass
distortions do
at
you
the
see here?
world. Wait a minute, at the world
Dean,
when
I'm
it's
not even
upside
talking
down.
to you, Dean. Dean, I'm not
Well, I
talking
can-
to you.
You're a moron.
Is the
I
damage.
can. I think I can guess just slightly above that line because there's some
Okay.
mirroring going on there. But yeah, I can
Okay,
guess
slightly above.
just a
Let's
slight.
see.
Yeah, slightly above.
Let's see.
Just might.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see.
Yeah. That's some distortion. Yeah.
Is that slightly above?
But hold on, Chris.
Not
Why
where
do you
that is.
presume?
Wow.
Hold
It's
on,
flying boats.
Chris,
Is it-
Chris,
It's a
why do you
flying
presume that what I call the fold line has been called the fold line for hundreds of years? In other words, where you get between the infirmarage and the bottom of the horizon. You don't know that's where the horizon is. You're just assuming that where the fold line is where the genuine geometric horizon is. That is not the case, and I can show from ray tracing that that's not where the horizon is.
There's
Just
the
because that's
horizon.
where the fold line is does
That
not
is.
mean
That is.
that
yes,
is
it does.
not. No, that
Yes, it
you're
does.
just presuming that because that's
not
where
a
the
presumption.
fold line is, that's where the geometric horizon is. It is
All
not
right.
in the same place. You have
Look.
no scientific basis for that assumption.
Let's look
All
at
these
this one.
lines are joined. That's not where the geometric horizon is.
Okay.
Maybe Trump got both of the tip of
this
my
is
own.
gonna wrap up the live show on YouTube. I
Yeah.
might hit the record button when we do the roundup over here live on YouTube. I can record the after show and just upload
Yeah,
it later.
record it.
I got like a ton of
Record it.
them, but the best ones are gonna upload them soon. Everybody gonna have a chance to speak your piece, and let's get out of here. I mean, you can stay in the hangout and then talk in the after show, but please, one-on-one, when the person is giving the final thoughts, do not interrupt each other. Who wants to go first? Let's go down the list then. All right, we'll start with our Trexis. Go ahead.
Oh, this was entertaining. I mean, I can't really say much more than that, but I mean,
Thank
glad
you.
they're gonna drive people to drinking. So
Thank you very much. Who goes next? Chris, go ahead.
I mean, look, we have explanations for all of these land-based, sea-based observations. So, for example, Rumpus has his turbines cut in half. That's simply due to refraction. And Red Pill has demonstrated that beautifully with his 12-story hotel that's cut in half. So 6 stories of a building cut in half simply due to refraction, because then on another day we can see the entirety of the building, the tree line, and the water line all in the same image. So we know it's refraction. The boat's cut off, it's all refraction and sinking. We do know that the midpoint of the boat and or in a fold line is the top half is the real object, the bottom half is the mirrored object, so we can deduce that it is the true horizon. And as we can see in this image and video and many others, that the quote unquote horizon, you know, they present the horizon here when really in reality it's way up here.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. You gotta mute yourself, Tommy, while it's your turn. Schrodinger's cat, final thoughts.
Yes, sir. Again, thanks for having me on. It was a good show. Got a little loud there at the end, but had a ton of fun. A little announcement. Tomorrow at 5 Eastern Standard Time, I'm scheduled to be debating Pete Shea on Channel Q.
Oh, God.
So we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Why?
Yeah,
That's
Schrodinger,
awesome.
don't do that.
I'm going to, yeah, if that goes down, I'm going to share it on my YouTube post. So I'll create a post when that goes live. That's going to be great.
Yeah, it'll just be a ton of fun. I don't expect anything substantial to come of it.
Drink heavily beforehand.
Yeah,
Drink
it's my day off. It's my day
Schrodinger.
off tomorrow, so I'll be able to be like all in the chat. And she opens the panel, I'll jump in because it's going to be fun stuff.
Yeah, it should be fun. And also, Red Pill Philosophy owes me money because I had to buy a whole separate computer, and this separate computer is just dedicated to having tabs open.
He doesn't have money. Come on.
So funny.
I opened all the tabs. I don't use it for anything else except open tabs, and I'm so much smarter now. That's all I have, sir.
Simon Dan call
Thank you, Schrodingers. All right, please, everybody else, Tommy, you cannot hold your laughs. You got to mute if you think you're going to interrupt. We go with Scotty. Scotty, we didn't hear you, so take your time and speak your piece, brother.
Oh, well, thanks, mate. Well, my last summary would be, Tommy, a yes or no question to somebody. Tommy, do you trust and think NASA is legit?
Liar.
Don't answer yet, Tommy.
What
Go
a fucking liar,
speak.
man.
Speak, Scotty.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, Dean.
Yeah, great show, Jose. And as we've seen, flat Earth proof is obviously pointing at extreme mirages, and common sense dictates that if you fill a glass full of water, get it at the right distance, the world is upside down. It doesn't actually make it so. You have to find conditions where you can eliminate all the variances like this to as much as possible. And you see that when people do, we see curvature, like Tommy's beautiful examples, like Rumpus's wind turbines as well.
Tommy's had Mr. Mirage.
It just, and then you see people preaching like Red Pill. So preaching is always a sign for me that
You just
someone
said
is trying
inferior
to.
mirages invalidate footage. His had an inferior mirage. I mean, come on, you're so stupid.
So preaching, interrupting, and obvious tactics, as well as insults, are an absolutely brilliant sign. Oh, and little whines, childish little remarks and snacks. Yeah, these are all signs of a person's character. And the fact that they can't answer questions, very basic ones, is a sign of their intellect. So I leave it to you who I'm talking about. Cheers, Jose.
Thank you very much, Dean. I appreciate it. Red Pill Philosophy.
Yeah, wow, what an incredible display of globe-tard dishonesty, mental illness, or just general retardation. Incredible. So I come in here, and then me and Chris Berry ask Bob, hey, are you considering the reality of compression and other variables which make Wes said compression is real? And then we start tearing it apart to pieces, and we realize that the devil is always in the details. But when you just assume that everything is Earth curve, like these stupid fucking cult members have done for 2,500 years, everything looks like Earth curve when you want it to be. Then we moved on to Tommy, my good friend Tommy, who literally goes, the windmills in the horizon prove the Earth is a sphere, but there's a giant rock in the foreground hiding like 80% of the horizon. So it's like, Tommy, you couldn't have moved over a mile to get the giant obstruction of rock out of the way. I mean, it's almost like you had to have deliberately chosen that spot to obscure things. That, or again, you must be fucking retarded. Now, Dean's talking about, oh, you can't trust any footage. You know, you can't. You know, if it's wavy, it's invalid. Well, Aristotle, I mean, I'm sure he had the best conditions when you guys put his observations in the textbooks and used it as slam dunk proof for hundreds or thousands of years. But then Tommy's footage has an inferior mirage. So look, the globe is dead. Atheism is literally like, I mean, nothing has scared atheists more than flat Earth. That's why the top tier globe defenders are almost all atheists, dude. They're shitting their pants. And that's what we just witnessed here today. Thank you, Jose, for the great show. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Even though you call in your last video the globe called whatever religion,
Yeah,
whatever.
the globe
Cool.
tard safe space show, because that's what it is. Because everybody here is just afraid to debate Nathan Oakley, and that's just the truth.
It's cool. I enjoy the trolling, man.
Kyrie Irving believes it to be flat.
No.
You saw this, right?
Don't get me started.
So we are not on a spinning ball.
Okay.
We're on a flat, motionless.
Oh, this is flat Earth. So you're pitching this as a serious call.
Yeah, no, that's yours.
Welcome back, my woke friends. Earth looks flat, it feels flat. The logical explanation is the Earth is flat, right?
No.
You saw this, right?
Don't get me started. And that dude who jumped out of a perfectly good balloon, what's his name? Felix!
Felix Baumgartner.
Felix Baumgartner.
It's billed as the free fall from the edge of space.
Don't get me started. He would have been about 2 millimeters above the surface of this globe. That's his edge of space jump.
And you don't see the curve of the Earth at any altitude. And then
You can see the curve of the Earth at certain altitudes, though.
Yeah, I was on a plane to get here and I saw it.
Yeah.
This morning, the Austrian daredevil plans to jump from 23 miles above the New Mexican desert. That's 120,000 feet, 4 times higher than most passenger planes fly.
And not only that, they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. So in the photo, you see this curvature of Earth's surface, and he said, wow, he's in space, look at that. No, he's not!
And so when I went flying from England to Africa, the curvature that I saw, would that be just something that I expected to see and my sort of eyes made it look that way?
It was observation that showed us the Earth's curvature in the first place. And if you don't believe all of those scientists and government people for some reason, fly in an airplane and behold an inarguably spherical Earth.
At that height, you don't see the curvature of the Earth if you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball.
This is a man who just minutes ago was going 536 miles an hour, break the sound barrier on his way down.
The sky was totally black, I could see the curvature of the Earth, so that was amazing today.
You don't see the curvature of the Earth.
I could see the curvature of the Earth.
You don't see the curvature of the Earth if you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball. You just don't. That stuff is flat.
I travel a lot and I fly a lot and I can see the curvature when I fly.
Okay, so 35,000 feet, you can see it, right? That's what you're saying?
Generally speaking, I can see a slight curve to it, yeah.
Okay, so Neil deGrasse Tyson says that you can't see it at that altitude, so I really...
This really doesn't... We have satellites.
That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. Don't get me started.